Okay, let's go ahead and do our first car talk. I'm so sorry about the shaking, everyone. I'm gonna try to figure something out for the shaking with my little tripod that I have right here, just because I'm sure it's that nice. It's not that nice to see constantly throughout the whole video. So my apologies for that. But today we're going to be hitting just biceps. I'm mainly going to be supporting my girlfriend and my little brother throughout their leg day today, just because I can't do leg day because of my recent tattoo that I got on Saturday. So I have to take it a little bit easier, mostly on my leg day. So I'm just gonna be doing biceps today. I'll most likely post a clip from my little brother, so that way you can kind of take a look at how he does his leg day. I've already posted clips of him in the past, but that way you can kind of get more of an idea of how he trains as well. We both usually try to go super hard, so you'll see that as well. This morning has been a little bit hectic, so I had to drive all over the East Bay because I had to go to my chiropractic appointment. I just recently started going to the chiropractor just because I don't know, I was feeling super tense in my back, and so I started looking on Google, and I was like, okay, well, how can I make maybe my body feel less stressed outside of the gym, just because I know I'm putting it through so much stress when I'm lifting. And so a lot of people recommended things like body work, going to the chiropractor and things like that. And I thought that was pretty cool. Maybe I can look into that. And so I looked into the chiropractor just to kind of like get my feet wet a little bit and see kind of what that feels like. I'm also trying to look for someone that does body work, so that way my body doesn't feel as tense. It can also get rid of like scar tissue and things like that. And so maybe in the next few weeks, I'll most likely be posting a vlog of me maybe getting some work done, so you can kind of take a look at that and see kind of what that looks like as well. So right now we're just kind of just driving down. Um, it takes a bit of time to get from my place to the gym, about 20 minutes. We typically take our pre-workout around 20 minutes before we get to the gym, just to make sure that it starts to kick in. We don't want to take the pre-workout, let's say, right away once you're at the gym, because then you're like starting your main set, and then the pre-workout isn't even helping you, for example. And so you want to make sure that you're kind of like keeping in mind when you're taking your pre-workout as well. So once we probably get to the gym, we're going to try to find some parking, just because our gym doesn't have any parking garage or anything, and so we have to find street parking. And because of the location, it can get pretty packed, and so we often have to take into account too the parking situation where we go to the gym. We've been going to this gym for about, let's say, 2 years now, pretty consistently. So I've been going, yeah, pretty consistently, except for my rest days, or let's say I had surgery or something. I'm typically trying to stay as consistent as possible, just because if I feel like if I don't become consistent, or if I fall off or anything like that, then it can kind of really derail me, and it becomes hard to get into my habits again. And so I just want to be as consistent as possible, just to make sure that, I reach my goals. I'm also not getting discouraged, and kind of just different things like that. So right now there's a bunch of traffic that we kind of have to deal with, mostly on the way to the gym and on our way back to the house, just because the entrance to where we live it's pretty hectic. It's pretty hectic. So today we're probably gonna most likely do either 3 to, I'm thinking, no, I'm thinking maybe we're gonna do around 6 to 9 sets, like we usually keep it for biceps. We're probably gonna keep it around the 8 range, just because today's a little bit of a lighter day. So we don't want to go super, super crazy, but we're still going to try to go as hard as we can. Um, I'm thinking that maybe if my biceps are already super tired, or if I feel like I got enough work in, then maybe I can just leave it at like 7 sets. But it just kind of really depends. Sometimes you kind of have to gauge your workouts and see how you feel and see kind of how your body feels, and that kind of takes some time. It kind of has to also do with the mind muscle connection of just kind of like knowing your body, knowing how it works, kind of knowing how to activate certain muscles during certain movements and things like that. Oh, give me 1 second as I fix the camera, just because this new tripod is I don't know, I'm trying to get something better, just because I kind of ordered this from Amazon, and it was a little bit of a last minute purchase just because I wanted something for my car, so I can start making some of these car talks for everybody. But we're probably going to get a better mount, so maybe it can go on my windshield, so it's a little bit easier for the angles, and so maybe it also doesn't shake as much. But if you have any recommendations on any tripods that you maybe recommend, drop it in the comments below, and I'd be happy to kind of check them out and see if I can install them in my car. Okay, so we are getting pretty close to the gym. I think that our first workout is going to be, or the first clip you're going to be seeing, is of my little brother hitting hack squats. Hopefully it's hack squats. Sometimes it's really busy, so maybe if the hack squats is taken, we'll see if he wants to do any Smith machine squats. He typically doesn't like to do squats on his first leg day of the week, and so he typically likes to do something a little bit more isolated, like hack squats. So we're gonna see what is open today, just because it is the New Year's and a lot of folks are coming into the gym. So it's gonna be way more packed. So we kind of have to see what's open, what we can use, and maybe even see if we can kind of work in with someone. Worst case scenario, to be honest, you should never be afraid to work in with someone, as long as you're also helping them take off the weights, put on the weights, just because they're still doing a little bit of extra work by letting you work in with them. So it's always nice to have that kind of etiquette of being nice enough to also help someone re-rack and rack their weights. And people here in the Bay Area love to jaywalk pretty crazy and love to not follow like any of the traffic laws. So you always have to be kind of keeping your eyes on the road as much as possible. And so sometimes it makes it a little bit harder for these car talks, just because you have to kind of keep your eye on the road as much as possible, because I want to be safe, but I also don't want to hit any car or anyone just because they just kind of jaywalk, or they just pass a red light or something. So we're just trying to be super careful. Okay, so enough talking. We're gonna skip over now to the gym, and let's see what we start off with. Come on. Come on. All right. I changed my mind. I was supposed to not do any leg day, but honestly, just seeing my little brother lift, I kind of want to fucking just go for it, but I'm gonna just go a little bit lighter today, um, and still keep it maybe around 6 to 10, but really pause at the bottom, and I'll show you what that looks like. But let's just go as hard as we can on this one, and then I'm thinking maybe we'll just do 2 sets of these and then 2 sets of leg press, and then we'll see for leg extensions. Come on. Okay, let's go ahead and now do our second set of hack squats. We're still gonna keep it around 6 to 8, keep them slow and controlled, and then we'll move on to another kind of press. We'll see. We'll see what's open. No. Let's go ahead and now do our last set of hack squats. We're sticking to the same weight, just 2 plates, just to make sure we're getting at least a solid 6 to 8, making sure we're getting pretty good depth, and we're stopping a little bit at the bottom. Then we're gonna move on to the new leg press machine that we have here at the gym, which has been pretty awesome, to be honest. You get a really good stretch at the bottom, which is great. So we're probably gonna move on to that one next, and then we're gonna do some leg extensions after. It just kind of depends on what's open, just because of the new year, it's been a lot more busier. So we'll see. Let's put on some music. Okay. Let's go ahead and now do 2 sets of leg extension, sorry, leg press. We're gonna do four plates on this one. It's our, I think, third time using it or second time, I forget. And so we're gonna aim from 6 to 8. Try to keep them pretty slow and controlled. Try to get a really good deep stretch at the bottom. But we'll see how that goes. Let's just go hard. Okay. So I didn't get as much depth as I wanted on that one. So what I'll do is on the next one, I'm probably gonna drop a plate and get a really, really good deep stretch at the bottom. We'll see how that goes. Okay, so we went from 4 plates, 6 reps on the last one. And so what I'm gonna do on this one is drop down to 3 plates and a 25. Just so I can get a solid 8, but also be able to get a little bit more depth at the bottom. So we'll see how this feels, and then we'll move on to some leg extensions for maybe either 2 or 3. We'll see. Dog. Okay. Let's go ahead and move on to leg extensions. We're probably gonna go a little bit lighter on these just because the pad is actually hitting the back of my knee, around the knee ditch that where my tattoo is. So I want to make sure I'm not like rubbing it the whole time and then it gets irritated or infected or something. So I just want to be careful. So I'm gonna go super. I'm just gonna be more careful and a little bit lower in weight. ahead and now do our last set of leg extensions. And then we're gonna move on to adductors and then maybe calf raises or something. We're gonna do something with calves. We'll see what machine is open just because it's super busy today. So we're gonna go hard. We're still gonna go from 6 to 10, and just keep it control throughout the whole entire movement. Okay. Let's move on to abductors and then calves. Okay. Let's go ahead and now move on to our first set of biceps. We're probably gonna do. Honestly, we changed up our whole routine today. We're supposed to go a little bit lower today. We weren't supposed to do legs, but we ended up doing legs because I just don't listen. Um, so we're still gonna just go hard, act like nothing happened, even though I just got my tattoo this Saturday. We're still gonna go hard and yeah, and just see how many we can get with this. We really like this specific movement because we can really load it and it keeps you in place throughout the whole movement. It's honestly awesome. It serves the same purpose as if you were to do it with like let's say an incline bench. It's the same concept. So you can try this one out if your gym has it, because it's really awesome. You just want to make sure your elbows aren't coming off of that pad when you're going up, and that you're also getting a really good stretch at the bottom. Let's go ahead and now move on to our second set of bicep curls, but we're doing this with this isolation machine, just because it feels great and and the gym's also pretty busy, so this was open, and so we're just like might as well just grab it and use this one. It'll be the same thing as if I were to set up a bench and do like incline curls, for example. So we're gonna try to go as hard as we can. We're probably gonna sit here for either 3 sets. We already did one, and then move on to maybe like a type of preacher curl, and see how that feels. Let's go ahead and do our last set of curls. Um, so we're probably going to do preacher curls after this set here. We're probably going to hit this one for around 6 to 8 reps, and then maybe do 2 sets of preacher curls, and then maybe see what else we do. I still haven't really made up my mind, but it'll be a good one. We're going to do our last set of, actually not our last set, we're going to start our first set of preacher curls. We're probably going to be aiming from around 6 to 8, and then go from there. We'll see how it feels. We're gonna drop set this from 25. I think we got 5 on the last one. We're gonna drop set and hit it for maybe 3 more. Yeah, and then see how that goes. And then we'll probably stick to 20s for the next either couple or few sets of these. Okay, let's go ahead and do our last set of preacher curls. We're gonna go for 6 to 10. We drop down to 20. So we start off with 25. We got 5 with that, and then we drop set it to 20s for 4 more reps. Now we're gonna do 20 for a solid set. I'm thinking maybe I can try it one-handed, just because I feel like I'll get a better isolation that way. But we'll see how that feels. Okay, let's move on now to our last set of biceps. What we're gonna do is just do regular curls, just keeping it pretty simple. We're going to maybe do 2 or 3 sets of these. Try to aim from 6 to 10 reps, and yeah, just go as hard as we can around those reps. So, so yeah, let's start this first one. What you usually want to do is you want to make sure that the weight is right next to you, like this. You can face it palm forward. You can either do it one-handed or both at the same time. It just really depends on what you like and what feels good for you. I usually do double-handed just because it feels good. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to make sure that you are keeping your elbows controlled throughout the entire movement. You also want to make sure that you're keeping your core strong throughout the movement to make sure that you're as stable as possible. You want to make sure that you're not doing any kind of swinging throughout your bicep curls because that takes away a lot of tension from the bicep. Sometimes what happens when and you can even hit it with some partials. Okay, let's go ahead and now finish our last set of bicep curls. So we're gonna keep these from 6 to 8 reps. Because that seems to be the sweet spot for this specific weight, and it feels pretty good. Um, so let's see how it goes. I'm gonna do these one hand at a time. So I bring my shoulders back. I make sure that they're right next to me, and then I curl up. Pull. Okay, let's go ahead and now do a bicep pump. We can't really do it outside just because it's really packed, and I don't want to be in anyone's way. So we're gonna just do it here. I can't really do a. I guess I can do a quad pump here, but we'll see. So this is what it's looking like for today. Okay, let's go ahead and now go home so we can enjoy a post-workout meal. I'm honestly starving, um, just because I feel like I'm not that used to not eating, just because I've been bulking for quite some time now. So I'm super, super hungry. So I can't wait till I get home. I'll probably cook up some chicken fillets that I have from Costco, some white rice, and then we'll see if we can maybe add a sauce to it. I'm thinking that maybe I can take you guys along a grocery haul when I go to either Costco or I stop by Safeway or somewhere. Just so you guys can see what I usually pick up, mostly for this cut too, so you can see what I'm eating throughout my cut and to lose weight. And so you can also get an idea. That way, maybe it can be a good idea to use when you're also going on a cut. If you find any of these meals like pretty good for you, if you feel like you can incorporate them into your daily meals, then go right ahead. I would recommend it. So right now we're gonna be dropping off my little brother first. That's typically what I'm doing right after the gym, just because he lives super close to the gym as well, but um, he's also on the way home. Well, a little bit out of the way, but it's kind of on the way home. He lives maybe like 15 minutes away, so we're gonna drive over there, drop him off, and then we're gonna go home and eat something. I'm really hoping that tomorrow for chest and triceps and hamstrings doesn't feel too crazy because of the cut. Just because chest is already one of my weaker muscle groups, so I don't know. I'm always skeptical about chest day, just because, or I don't feel as confident, just because it's a weaker muscle group for me. And when it comes to the cut, sometimes I can lose a little bit of strength that I'm not trying to lose too much strength. So that's why I'm also keeping my calories a little bit higher, so that way my body's not starving so quickly. I'm thinking that maybe I'll have a refeed in a couple or a few months. It won't be like a crazy cheat meal thing. I am thinking maybe I'll do that refeed when we have a get together with friends. We're gonna get together with a few friends, and we're gonna do a catering thing where they're gonna cater some food over, and we'll see. Maybe we'll do a bit of a refeed that day, just to give ourselves a little bit of our metabolism a little bit of a break from it working so hard from being on that cut. Today's biceps were honestly pretty great. I've been kind of experimenting a little bit more with preacher curls and a variety of different preacher curls, either from kind of like an isolation machine or possibly just dumbbells, just because I want to see what better works for me. Sometimes you have to experiment a little bit with different machines to see which one feels really good. Because sometimes, some machines aren't for everyone, to be honest. Some machines can some of these makers or like these manufacturers don't really think about every single person when they're making some of these machines. So it can be really difficult for someone that's a little bit shorter, or you know a lot of the average joes that go to the gym. So I think I'm sitting at, I think I had around 150 carbs in me from earlier today. I had some Greek yogurt with fruit, but I also had, what did I have? What did I have earlier? Oh yes, it was kind of like a naan bread with a type of light cheese, so that way it doesn't have as much fat. But they're also really good with protein. The one that I'm typically getting is the one from Trader Joe's. I would recommend that one. It's called the light cheddar. The protein is awesome compared to the fat, and on a cut it's going to make food taste so much better. And I'm also going to be getting a good quality protein, because it's from an animal, or it's from animals. So I'm excited to kind of experiment around with just my foods, just because when it comes to the cut, I start to get a little bit more creative with my food. So that way I am not always, what's the word? Um, so I don't get super bored. There you go. I'm already messing up my words. Super bored of the food that I'm eating, just because I don't know, when you're on a cut and you're eating the same thing, it you almost don't want to eat. Your body almost doesn't want to like take the food in, so you almost sometimes have to drink a little bit of water to pass your food down. And I don't want to get to that point, so I am going to try to experiment as much as possible with my food, so that way they can also be healthy but high in protein, and they can also meet my macros that I set up for myself for this specific cut. So we're probably going to be experimenting with some Mexican food, maybe Indian food, possibly. We'll see what we can find. A lot of Mediterranean food has also been really good that we've tried before. It's high in protein and it has really good fats. So maybe we'll experiment a little bit with Mediterranean food. So stay tuned for maybe a cooking vlog. I don't know. We might be cooking out here. We might start cooking. You never know. So we'll see how that goes. Right now, we're about to drop off my little brother. Today was a really, really good day. I hope everyone enjoyed today's workout. I hope everyone started off the new year in a good way, and everyone's lifts have also been awesome. So I'll catch you guys next time or tomorrow for our chest, tricep, and hamstring day. All right, see you guys.